Hi everybody, it's Mark again, and I bought this Lux Happy Days um, clock off of Etsy here a while back, and I started work on it, but I quit, and so I think I'm going to work on it today. Um, the the guys drinking the beer. This is hard to turn, and when the clock is running, it has to. There's a cam right here that moves this arm. And because this arm is hard to turn, it's going to stop the clock. And so I have a hand removal tool right here. You can purchase these things, but the way it works, you put the tool underneath the minute hand, and then you turn the nut, and it's supposed to take off the hand without bending it. This one seems to be a little bit stuck. The center part for this is too big, so I'm going to have to do it the old-fashioned way and try to take it off with a pair of pliers. Or I'll also use this because that gets underneath the hand and then you can wiggle it off most of the time. There's the hand, it came off. It's kind of bent up, so I'm going to have to straighten this out. And typically the hour hand is hard to get off, so I'm going to leave it on. And in order to get this movement out, you have to bend these tabs. There's a tab here, and one over here. So I'm going to bend those tabs. It's not a very good way of taking a movement out, because after a while these tabs will break on you. And there's the movement. I'm looking at the movement to see if there's any damage. It's extremely dirty. And I don't like these hairspring movements, as you all know. I need to take the setting lever off here to set the hands. that came off. And I need to go get a zip tie, so stand by. I don't have an extra camera to take pictures, so if I have to, I will pause this video and stop the video and look at this portion of the video to put this movement back together. But I'm going to zip tie the spring. I like using a zip tie. They're cheap, and they do a really good job. You want to make sure that you're just getting the spring and what the spring holds onto. There is a click for this particular movement, for this particular spring. A lot of the Lux clocks don't really have a click on them. So I'm going to put the key on. Tighten up the spring to release the click. I might be able to see it better under my magnifying glass here. And you might be able to see it better under my magnifying glass also, if I don't break my tripod here. But here's the click. Hopefully you could see it. And so when I tighten up the spring, I'm going to release that click. Hopefully release it into my, so the spring goes into my zip tie. There's two little wires on the click, and then I don't know if I'm going to be able to release. There we go. Going through that slot there, I'm able to release the click. So now I could safely take this movement apart. And get out my tools that my son got me to take this apart. And before I take the movement apart, I'm going to want to take the hairspring out, or it will not work properly. It will come unraveled, and like I said, I hate dealing with these hairsprings. Now if I can just get it out. Without damaging it. It's bent at the very end. So I'm having issues. I don't know if I could straighten this hairspring out or not. Maybe. So now I can undo these nuts. Power is off, and I could safely take this movement apart. This nut here, there it goes. When you use pliers, you obstruct the nuts and stuff, and sometimes they are a bugger to get off. I'm looking for my door cutout that I use as a movement stand. So stand by. Here's my, I put a deadbolt in my daughter's house, and this is, came out of the door when I drilled a hole. It makes a really good movement stand. So now I should be able to take this movement out. And voila. There's a lot of grease and dirt and stuff in these plates. The spring, the back plate, and normally have a paper towel here, but I don't have one. So I'm going to wipe what I can off with my towel here because I don't want it in the ultrasonic cleaning solution. So I'm going to put these parts in my ultrasonic cleaner, and I will get back with you. So stand by. Now I got the parts in the ultrasonic cleaner, and I'm trying to figure out what is the best way to fix this guy's arm. Don't know whether you could see. Let me see if I can. His arm don't move that well. It should be dropping, and I think it's because his arm is touching the dial. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can raise his arm off. Hopefully I won't destroy his arm, but I want to see if I can get the arm off the dial. Maybe this pin pushes through more. It pushed through alright. So much that this came off. And I'm going to throw it in the ultrasonic cleaner because it's got some crud on it. So we'll have to get back after I get these parts out of the cleaner. Now the back of the dial plate, it's got a bunch of crud on it. And I don't know whether this is going to work or not, but I got some goop off. And I'm going to spray on this rag. And I'm going to see if it'll take that crud without taking anything else off. It seems to be doing just fine. And then I'm taking a paper towel and wiping it off. I'm kind of taking some of the, I guess you call it, paint off. So, my results of using Goof Off, yes and no. It looks better, but as you can see, it took some of the paint off. Yes, I can repaint it. No, I'm not going to. I got the parts out of the cleaner, but I discovered something, and I just wanted to point it out to you. This is a minute wheel with minute arbor, and this gear here is sliding up and down, and I don't think it's supposed to do that. I think it's supposed to be tight on there, or it won't work. I happen to have a Lux Pendulette clock right here. I'm pretty sure it's the same gears. The spring is broken on this clock, so I'm going to take it apart and see whether it's the same gear, and if it is, I'm going to see whether or not the arbor slides up and down on it. It's tight, but it don't slide up and down on it. So I'll probably turn it upside right. The end shaft, get out my micrometer. The end shaft on the one for the Lux Pendulette is longer, so you can put the winding key on it. This is 32.6. The one for the the beer drinker guy, and this is just a 31.6, so it's a little bit different, but I'm going to put it in here, and see if this shaft will stick out. I don't believe it's going to. I can see it already. Figure out which way this thing goes. That's why I always take pictures, but I can't because I'm videotaping. It doesn't stick out that far. So this shaft here has to be able to set the hands. And it does stick out far enough for it to set the hands. So I'm going to clean this gear up and we'll get back with you. And FYI, this is the broken spring that's on the Lux Pendulette clock that I'm using for parts. This is what is left, and I could probably make this with what is left. The only thing this does is go around the shaft go around one of these posts so you can wind up the clock. So I should be able to repair that without having to get another spring. The 30-hour clocks, I might be taking away, well, they're supposed to be 30-hour clocks. I might be taking away an hour or so by doing what I'm going to do, but the clock was given to me, so I'm not worried about that spring that much. As you can see, currently none of my Lux clocks are running. I got one clock that I keep maintained running in my bedroom. That keeps perfect time. It's a modern day show clock, but I used to keep them all running, but I just been lazy here lately, I guess. So let's wait for that part to get out of the cleaner, then I'll put it all back together. I hope y'all are liking this video. Please leave me some comments. Please hit the subscribe button for more exciting videos. I got a couple more Lux clocks that I need to work on. This one right here probably just needs wound. And then this one right here, the pendulum, it's a bigger Lux clock, as you can see in the size. It's, after the hunter's cuckoo clock, but the pendulum bob is not working properly, and the I really need to wind it up and see what's going on with it. It is wound up, but the pendulum bob is not working properly. It's touching part of the case. And they go pretty fast when they're wound up. And these stupid decorative chains always get in my way. And the bird bobbin doesn't bob that fast like you think it would. And I've got a video on how to get the birds to bob. While I'm talking about it, I might as well just That's different cloth. Well, it's not. Here's the bird that bobs. There's a wire right here. Not wire, a lever. And that lever is adjustable. As you can see, you can adjust that lever. And that lever has to be just right in the movement. And let me see if I can find the other part. That lever hits this cam that is cut into sections. It's bent into sections. So when this rotates, that lever hits these cams, and that's what causes the bird to bob up and down. The only way that you might get it to bob more is bending these levers more, and it might bob more for you. But typically they don't bob that much. But again, stand by for that part to get out of the cleaner. Because I like repairing clocks versus replacing parts, and because this cam don't want to go on where it needs to go, I'm going to do the same thing I did to another clock, and I'm going to bugger up this shaft a little bit. Try to. And that way that cam goes on properly. I think I got it. Now I don't remember which way this part went on, so I'm going to wait until that part gets out of the cleaner before I put it on. So